And just like that, it was a Monday. Welcome in on this Monday into the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Farm Bureau Insurance, go! With the home team. They are your home team at Farm Bureau Insurance all across the great state of Mississippi. Your hometown heroes, that's your local Farm Bureau Insurance agents. How are y'all doing on this Monday? Get on in here. Be a part of the show. I really hope you will. Anything you want to talk about, it's cool with me. Whatever you want to get into. I got opinions on everything. Just like everyone else. I have opinions on everything. I will tell you that, I'm not always right. Does a good radio show talking head admit out loud, say it out loud, that he's not always right? I don't hear many others that do. Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't hear many others at all. I cut out the content consumption of my life, sports related, because I decided I just want whatever comes out of my mouth, I want it to come out of my head and be my thoughts. Even if it sounds like a repeat of something somebody else said, just know I thought of it. Because if you listen to other people all the time, it starts to kind of make its way into your own thoughts. So I cut it all out. I don't consume anything anymore. And, I mean, it's really true. But I did, however, watch some football games this weekend. Although it might be different than the games that you watched. I watched all of the Warren Central and Hattiesburg 6A state championship game on Friday night. We went to support family there, and the Vikings got the win, and that was great. Had a lot of fun there. I didn't go watch in person Tupelo and Gulfport on Saturday night in the 7A, but I did watch it from the comfort of my own home. Watched every play of that. And you talk about a heck of a ball game there. What else? Let's see. Oh, I watched a good bit. I had to miss part of it, but I watched most of the SWAC championship game between Jackson State and Prairie View. That was a heck of a ball game now. I mean, it really was. And, had a chance right there at the end. Just couldn't quite pull it off. It's like field position thing got them where Prairie View's defense kicked in. It's weird, but really good defenses, you think, okay, well, the way to win is to have a lead and with 2 minutes left in the game, pin your opponent with a great punt down inside the 10 and let the defense go win a game for you. And that's kind of what Prairie View was able to do. It still was a heck of a ball game and a great atmosphere. It was officiated well. TV broadcast was good. I enjoyed it. And, it's great to hear the sonic boom throughout the game, all of that. It was great. So I didn't watch – I'm just being honest with you. I watched like 2 plays of Georgia versus Alabama. The moment that we realized that was the matchup, I was already super bored with it. Much less by the time the game got there. I don't know how bored and bedridden I'd have to be to sit there and watch another Alabama and Georgia game. So I didn't watch it, just being totally honest with you. And had a lot of other things going on. I didn't see the Chiefs foul that thing up. I've read about it. Didn't see that either. But I tell you what I did see. The state's going to go play in a bowl game. Thoughts, opinions, otherwise, let me know how you feel. They've also got a new defensive coordinator that is a name we all know. Zach Arnett is back in Starkville. How do y'all feel about that? So we got lots and lots and lots to get to here today. In the Bureau. So comment on the live stream. Hey to you. Hey, if you're on YouTube or Facebook or X, formerly Twitter, type a comment, post it. It pops up here on the screen. When I click it, then everybody else can see it. And we can chat it up that way. You can text me on the Country Pleasing text line. The number to text is 885-3776. 601 number 885-3776. That is the Country Pleasing text line. You can also call the Junction phone. The number to call is 897-1059. 897-1059. Give me a shout on the Junction phone. Junction delis all across the state. They've been fueling Central Mississippi since 1960. That'd be what? 65 years. I think they just celebrated their 65th birthday or anniversary, I guess it would be for a company. And so call me. All those available to you. Get on in here. Love to know what you think. All right, right out of the chutes, this is actually even before the show began, I got a text from Airborne Dog. He says, "Hey, Matt, it's hate week. The boat boys are going down. Go Army, beat Navy." I'm sorry, did you just call Navy the boat boys? Well, I guess there's worse things you could call them then. Army-Navy week. Then he said this. He goes, "Zach Arnett, yes, please. Tulane and James Madison, no thank you." What a joke that is, huh? I mean, you talk about a joke. And then it says, "Bowl game for MSU, yes, please." So Airborne Dog's in on 2 out of 3. And then it says, "Have a doggone good day." Who? What? Did I do it right? That's probably the worst one you've ever heard, isn't it? Off the cut. I don't know. I would not ever dare pose to be one of the real warriors that defends our country and our homeland. They are the real warriors, and I respect all of them. I wouldn't dare pretend or pose to be one. So I maybe not be able to do that like everybody else can. Okay, so his 3 things: Zach Arnett, and then the Tulane and JMU deal, and then the bowl game for state. So let me tee this up for you, and then let me know what you think. Zach Arnett, for me, I think it's good. He was a good defensive coordinator. I think to a degree there was a good bit of overachieving going on the defenses that he coached at State. Now, he had maybe the best linebacker combo when you put 2 of them on the field that you've had in a long time in Jet Johnson and Bookie Watson. But, you kind of built the defense around, but he got a lot out of it. And he had a really good corner out there, too. I mean, a first-round corner in Emmanuel Forbes. Let's see. Didn't Martin Emerson also play for him? So, I mean, they had some players now. So there's that. But, his defenses were a lot better than anything we've come close to seeing out of State the last couple of years. So for me, I just think it's an automatic improvement. His experience and what he did. He's an excellent defensive coach and has been. Now, they didn't have defenses at State that went out and shut everybody down and set the world on fire. So, I mean, he's a good coach, a good defensive coach, and experience, right? And, maybe the fact that I have no idea. Some of y'all may know. Let me know. But I wondered, okay, were you already paying him buyout money from when he was the head coach that one year? And if so, did it not make financial sense also to say, look, you're not coaching anywhere. Come over here and coach our defense. We're paying you anyway. You know what I mean? But I don't know that. But, yeah, and as far as, the falling out with State, the year that he was the head coach, and, then he's at Ole Miss as an analyst, and then he's with Mullen, and you had the story of him, being let go out there before they ever even really started practice and all. Whatever. Who's to say who should or shouldn't get other chances, that sort of thing. I'm glad he's getting another chance. Glad he's getting a chance at State. I hope it works out. I really do. On Tulane, JMU, I mean, it's going to be – it's kind of – I mean, I know they did the highest ranked, conference champs outside of this many, whatever. I mean, but seriously, like Tulane's going back to Ole Miss where they've already just been absolutely embarrassed earlier this year. We'll talk more about it, but it's kind of a weird thing, isn't it, to go – I mean, why did they feel like they had to throw bones to, conferences like the AAC and the Sun Belt? Really, why did they feel like they had to do that? Because you look up and really James Madison's going to Oregon. Really? Tulane they're fixing to make Will Hall a head coach because their guy left. We're going to have a first-round matchup between 2 schools whose head coaches have quit before the playoffs started. 2 interims for all intents and purposes. And it's a rematch of a game that was like a 35-point game earlier in the year. It was non-conference where Ole Miss just beat the tar out of Tulane. Really? That's what we get? It's a joke, man. I'm just telling you, it's a joke. And not only that, I'm telling you, it's a joke that they put Alabama in. Why are they in? Can anybody give you the reason that Alabama's in? Everybody has talked about the reason they're not, the reasons that they should have been left out. Flip it. Tell me the reason that they should be in. What is that? Man, it's a joke. Let me just tell you right now, I posted something about this earlier today. What you have right now overall in FBS football, what you have overall is a joke. The only thing you can do is laugh at it. It's pitiful. And right now you have the FCS, you have Division II, all that stuff, that their whole structure and everything they do makes sense. It's pretty cool, especially for the participants and even for the fan base. I don't care if they have 5,000 at a game or if they have 35,000 at a game like Jackson State. Still, what they do in the FCS and in D2, it's cool for everybody involved, and it makes sense. It's responsible. But what you have at the FBS level is a pitiful joke of a pile of you-know-what with flies buzzing around it. That's what it is. J-Rock texts the show. He says, hey, Matt, great draw for the Rebels to play a team that they beat by 35 already. And they're going to beat them at least by 35 this go-round. Watch what happens. You watch. They play that game 10 times, and Ole Miss going to win it by 35 every time. Run, tell them I said it. James from Amory texts the show and says, I'm okay with the Arnett hire. As a DC, I think he's not an elite guy, but he is above average, and if we win the Duke's Mayo Bowl and Coach Levy declines the Mayo bath, can we get a Matt Wyatt Mayo bath? No, because I'm going to tell you this also. That's dumb. That kind of stuff's dumb too. It's dumb. I mean, really. Okay, so we're to the point. You're like, Matt, you sound like the old guy telling everybody to get off his lawn. All right, fine. I got a birthday this week. I'm getting older by the day. Listen, it's dumb. We're to the point where to get some attention for this game, what we have sunk back to is, hey, look, let's just fill a tub full of mayonnaise and pour it on the coach. They'll have to watch us then. It's dumb. Wouldn't ever do it.
And it works.
It works. Hey, Beaver, how many video views will that clip of one of those coaches getting mayonnaise on his head get?
A bunch.
Dumb.
And I think it's awesome. It's great. The Mayo Bowl and the Pop-Tarts Bowl they've gained such momentum in the last few years because of these little quirks. The Mayo Bowl with the Mayo bath and the Pop-Tarts Bowl with they gave a trophy that is a working toaster, the Pop-Tarts mascot. It's all little quirks and it's all stuff that's great for marketing, but it's fun.
Yeah.
But no, apparently it's awful.
I hate it. It's dumb. Has nothing to do with football. Let's dump some mayonnaise on the coach's head. Hey, Beav, I want you to just imagine for a second, okay?
It's fun, Matt Wyatt. Come on now.
Yeah, but you like mayonnaise.
The bigger farce is a 5-7 team going to that bowl game.
I agree. Beaver, I agree. 5-7 teams getting rewarded to go play in a quote-unquote bowl game. Let's be honest, Beaver. You have to call it something other than quote-unquote bowl game. What are we going to call it? The advertising and marketing bowl? Okay. But it ain't a bowl. It's a game to draw attention to mayonnaise. That's why. You know I'm right. That's why we're doing
entirely
it.
Dispute this.
You know I'm right. They just call it a bowl because, Beaver, once upon a time, at the end of the college football season, a select few teams, I don't know, like 8, and then 12, and then maybe, 15 or 16 teams total got the reward of going to play in like a bowl game. I'm not joking. Okay, I talk about being old, Beav. I'm old enough to remember when I played in college. One year we were we only had an 11-game schedule as opposed to 12 now. We had an 11-game schedule. We won 7 of them. Won 7 of the 11 games that we played, didn't go to a bowl game. You know why? Because there were only 16 bowl games, period, in the whole country. Now there are nearly 60, quote-unquote, bowl games. Maybe we should just call it the attention to mayonnaise game. Okay? The eat a Pop-Tart please contest. Am I in the wrong here, Beav? You know, I started this show by saying I have lots of opinions and I sometimes am wrong. Am I wrong here on all this?
Well, playoffs, opinion based, I guess. So it's all opinions.
Yeah.
Man, it's so funny how, you have opinions and the listeners have opinions and everybody else has opinions. Some people love to say, your opinion is wrong, but opinions, it can't be wrong. So
yeah, right.
It's how you feel. I don't disagree. I don't agree with you on your opinions today. I'll tell you that, but
Okay.
I'm not going to say you're wrong, Matt Wyatt.
Okay.
I do like. I did have
that's just like your opinion, man.
Now I did have a good laugh at this attention to Mayo Bowl.
Yeah. No,
That's
not bowl.
pretty good.
Not bowl. It's called the pay attention to mayonnaise game.
Yeah.
That's what it is. The Please Buy Mayonnaise Festival, including a football contest. Now that I'm in the ballpark, like whatever, okay, it's fine. I will admit the silver lining here, Beaver, is that I get to watch Kamario Taylor play another football game for State. Kids a joy to watch. Let me see here. As you might imagine, I got a lot of texts to get to, and I got to get going, or I will pull a Chris Brooks. By the way, hat tip Chris Brooks. He did come on the show, or I will pull a Chris Brooks and get way behind. Hey, by the way, Melissa commented on YouTube and said, and there were some fantastic games, and said Nash Morgan, impressive. I'll tell you what was impressive, Melissa, was your hubby, Big Matt Caldwell, number 70 in your program, number 1 in your heart, doing some color commentary for that Tupelo game on Saturday night on TV. I enjoyed that. He did a great job. But yeah, I was really happy to see him on there. Matthew said, Hail State, Matt, let's go bowling. Hail State fans said, great to hear we are bringing Arnett back. Also great news with our bowl bid. Much more practices for returning players. Matthew said, I like the move to go back with Coach. He was an amazing DC. JS290 said, Arnett because he's affordable. See, I don't know, but I wondered if State was State possibly still already paying him buyout money for when he was fired? I don't know, but it's possible they were. Hail State fans said, no, it's because he's a legit defensive coordinator. His defenses were good when he was there. And that is true. They were pretty good. Certainly a lot better than what you've had. Gene, I don't know anything yet here on Monday about Josh Hubbard's injury. State loses a game to San Francisco, played on neutral site in Tupelo yesterday. Hail State fans said when Arnett coached in Oxford, he still lived in Starkville. He and his family love MSU and Starkville. Yeah, don't they have didn't they buy a place, like land and a place to live and all that stuff? So that's good for them. And, there's no point in rehashing all that stuff that happened when he was a head coach. But one of the things is, now I think he probably learned the hard way is, as the head coach, you got to do what you know to do, and don't be listening to everybody else telling you what you ought to do. They made a lot of bad decisions, not smart decisions, and I was convinced then. I've said it on the show. Y'all can attest to it. I simply do not believe that Zach Arnett was dreaming some of those bad decisions up all by himself. I think he had somebody yapping in his ear, and they made some bad decisions. And you learn from it, move on, and be better for it down the road, maybe. Let's see. I told you I was going to get behind. How far behind am I on these two? Jason in Flagstaff said, no, do not enunciate, quote unquote here, hoo-ah. How do you do it? Jason, like I said, I would not dare pose to be or even impersonate a real warrior like you and your, fellow soldiers. But would somebody maybe call me and demonstrate how it's supposed to be done? We can do that on the junction phone. All right, lots of texts when we come back. We're just getting started with you on this Monday, Reaction Monday, and a lot to react to. So looking forward to it. Here in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Back after this. Stick around.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi. Local agents in all 82 counties. So here's what that means. You have that fender bender, hopefully you don't, but let's say you do at an odd time. Something goes on. It's Saturday night at 11 p.m. You don't have to wait until Monday morning to call some 800 number and talk to someone 3 states away. You've got your agent's phone number right there on your phone because you go to church with him. Your kids go to school together. He lives right down the road. You see each other at the ball games on Friday nights. So it's personal with your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in all 82 counties in this entire state. And if anything does arise and you need to, run it up the chain or up the flagpole, the home offices for Farm Bureau Insurance are in Jackson, Mississippi. It's right here in the state of Mississippi. It doesn't get more local than and personal, the service that you get with Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi. I can't recommend them highly enough. And if you haven't, recently, let them give you a quote. Home, life, auto. It's Farm Bureau Insurance. Go with the home team.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Well, look at what we have here. Christmas come early. Boom. Little green onion country pleasing. That's not all. Little original smoked sausage flavor. That's not all. Jalapeno and cheddar. It has to be one of my favorite, just judging by how much of that stuff I eat. Oh, can't forget. Andouille. Don't be saying andouille, it's andouille. And last, but not least, pork and pineapple, bun size, 3 links, bun size. Look at that right there. Be careful. Come on with it. It's mine. Come here, jalapeno. Oh, that's all mine. Country pleasing sausage. We'll be right back after this message from C Spire. My name is Matt Wyatt. I host the Matt Wyatt radio show out of my home using C Spire fiber.
And when we hit the road as a family, Matt's show goes with us, thanks to C Spire Wireless.
Its ultra-reliable nationwide network lets me broadcast live from anywhere.
And never miss a moment that matters.
Connecting you to what inspires you most on C Spire's blazing fast 5G network. And right now, get your choice of free phone. That's customer inspired. That's C Spire.
Y'all like coffee? I know you do. Check it out. Little High Point Roasters from New Albany, Mississippi. That is the breakfast blend. It's whole bean. And if you notice, that's how much I've had already. Brazil Oberon. Not Ogeron or Orgeron, you LSU. No, Brazil Oberon. That ain't all. We got that. What flavor is that? Papua New Guinea, grade AA. Bring it on. High Point Roasters, New Albany, Mississippi. Roast it right there. That's whole bean. One more. I got more.
Or even losing a game. You're going to hear about them all and get to talk about it with Matt Wyatt right here, right now on the Zone 105.9 and worldwide at the Zone1059.com.
Back with you. I'm Matt in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Farm Bureau Insurance, go! With the home team. They are your home team at Farm Bureau. All across the great state of Mississippi. Tell you what we're going to do. This is going to be rapid fire. We got to go fast. Not going to be wasting any time. Headlines, then text. Let's go.
Good evening. I'm Ron Burgundy, and this is what's happening in your world.
Good evening, and welcome to Eyewitness News.
Here's what's making news.
Headlines on the show brought to you by the Mortgage Man Group, powered by Illuminate Bank. Find them online at mortgagemanms.com. Anything mortgage related, that's where you want to go. Headline number one, Memphis has hired Charles Huff away from Southern Miss. Memphis AD Ed Scott announced the hiring today. Of course, we heard about it over the weekend, but today it's official. Coach Huff is replacing Ryan Silverfield at Memphis, who left for Arkansas. Huff went 7-5 this year at Southern Miss. A year after taking over Southern Miss, who went 1-11 last year. But, they started off, 7-2? Lost 3 in a row here at the end of the year and did not look good. And you kept looking at Southern Miss going, man, what is going on? The wheels have completely just fallen off what they were doing. I don't know, but it did. Headline number two, Tulane is promoting veteran assistant and Mississippian Will Hall to head coach. And it's pretty cool. Will, I don't know that Will grew up an Ole Miss fan. I would think he had a chance to, because I think his dad, Bobby, has always been a bit of an Ole Miss fan. They're great folks, and I think a lot of them. And I think, I know that Will has coached all over the place, and going into this stadium and that stadium, no big deal for him, really. But it's a pretty cool deal now. Gets to be Tulane's head coach. Playoff game, one of 12 teams in the playoff on the road. It'll be in Oxford in his home state. And it's a really neat thing for him. So proud for Will as he'll get to coach him. But it is an odd situation, too. Two teams who are in the playoff, both coaches gone. Again, just the people that run that sport, y'all are a joke. The people that run that sport, I'm not talking about coaches and players. It's a joke, man. Notre Dame Athletics Director Pete somebody, can't say it, unloaded on the ACC in the wake of Sunday's college football playoff snubs, saying the conference that houses almost every Fighting Irish sports team has caused, quote, permanent damage, end quote, to the relationships. That was on the Dan Patrick Show. And those are your headlines brought to you by the Mortgage Man Group, powered by Illuminate Bank. Find them online at mortgagemanms.com. Unnamed texter, Matt, any idea who initiated the conversation to get Arnett back, him or State? Don't know, do not know. I have no earthly idea who initiated it. I think it's a good thing for the program, though. He's a really good defensive coach. Hard-nosed. He gets a lot out of players, knows his stuff, has kind of been there, done that. I really do hope that Coach Rhodes and Coach McIntyre, as sort of defensive analysts are going to be able to stick around and help out because that's a heck of a team right there. Patches text the show. The whole thing is a joke, he says. It proves that it's all about the money. Idiocracy is evident. It might just hunt and forget the games. Your opinion, Matt? Yeah, I'm being honest with you. There are some potential, the playoff matchups there that I look at it and go, that's pretty interesting now. Really, like if you were to, I don't even know what the possibilities are. I need to make sure I do know that and see who's on what side of the bracket. But if you had something like a Georgia and Ohio State or an Oregon versus a Georgia, those kinds of things to me, that's pretty cool. But now we're just kind of talking about what we had in the 14 playoff, or really even in the in the BCS. And this is not to look for something to knock, but I'm just being honest with you. This is as point blank honest as I can possibly be. I can think of 1 million things to do that I would rather do than watch Oregon play James Madison. I'm just being honest with you. And this is also true. I'll give it to him, if Lane Kiffin were still at Ole Miss and what's his name? we're still at Tulane, and it was just a straight up total rematch in the same location as that 35-point game earlier this year, there's not a chance I'd watch it. I already know the outcome. I still feel like I already know the outcome. The one single thing about Ole Miss Tulane that will make me turn it on for a few seconds just to get a look at it, the one thing is because I know Will Hall. And I'll tip my cap to him and out of a show of respect to see Will Hall run out there on the sideline as the head coach of Tulane. That's it. I'm just being honest. Millwood texts the show and says, hey, Matt, Zach Arnett is definitely an upgrade for our defense. He will have us in the middle of the road defensively in the SEC. That's worst case scenario in my opinion. Yeah. And look, another thing about Zach is, even back then, before, even kind of on the front end of just the wide open transfer and pay for play system that we have now in FBS, he was already preaching that word of it's players, it's players, it's players. Listen, coaches, this, that, and the other. You can call me a play caller, or whatever, but I'm just telling you it's players. And he knows. Now, ResDog says, why is Lebby firing Bumpus? Chad Bumpus, receivers coach. Is he? I didn't know that. I mean, if he did, I head scratcher. I'd try to figure that one out. I don't know. Grumpy Texas show says, Matt, talking about the Saints' big win yesterday against the Tampa Bay. Tyler Schuff, all 6'5" of him running for 2 touchdowns. Reminds Grumpy of Matt Wyatt days at MSU. Well, Grumpy, you must be thinking of someone else. He said, Hail State. He said, yes, Ole Miss playing Tulane is laughable. Grumpy has 2 jars of Duke's mayonnaise in the fridge. Hail State, he said. White Denzel says, it should have been the blue plate Mayo Bowl instead of Duke's. Blue plate is the superior mayo. Here's where we are, y'all, on Reaction Monday. Football, Playoffs, playoffs. The real conversation to be had is who's got the best mayonnaise. Airborne Dog says, hey, Matt, I have $100 to a charity of your choosing if you take the mayo bath. Think of the kids, man. Do it for the kids. I tell you what, Airborne Dog, I'll give you $100 and we'll forget the whole thing. How about that? Junior 49. He said, it's not as bad as these wimps backing out of these bowls. And let's not be too negative. 100%, Junior 49. 100%. Look, when I said earlier dumb, and I agree with Beaver, it's not State's fault somebody's asking them to come play another game. When you are a 5-win team, year 2 of a head coach, and you're trying to still build something Somebody invites you to play a game, you go play the game. I don't care what the scenario is, period. What Beaver, I think, is talking about, and me too, is like an overall structure that does this. That goes 5 and 7, sure, reward. I mean, for what? I mean, somebody invites you to go play. Period. Notre Dame, I don't care who you are. QB1 texts the show. He says, no, it's please buy Duke's Mayo, which worked for me. I used to be a Hellman's guy. I almost said Heisman. Used to be a Hellman's guy. Now I like Duke's much better. He said it's all because of the bowl game. CB95 said it would break social media to see a coach get mayoed at the Duke Bowl, then lose on a fluke play like Tupelo. Listen, man. And CB95, let me say this. The kid for Gulfport can throw the football. He's a natural thrower. Like, it looks right. I guarantee, I don't even know this about him, but I guarantee you he's a baseball player. You hear me? Somebody that knows, you're right now going, yeah, he is. Just telling you. I can watch him throw a football, and I know he's a baseball player. He's a natural thrower and can evermore throw it too. And he showed it at times during the game. And I'm talking, y'all, like 80 yards in 27 seconds. It was incredible. Gulfport was more put together and organized and ready to go 80 yards in 27 seconds and know what to do and where to throw it and how to do it and manage the clock than any college team I've seen this year. Let me say it again. Record it. Run, tell them. Send it to the coach at Gulfport and to that quarterback. Gulfport's coaching staff and their offense and their quarterback was more organized and more put together and more ready to go 80 yards in 27 seconds and do it the way you're supposed to do it and how to do it and when to do it and how to manage the clock than any college team I've seen this year full of millionaire players and millionaire coaches. None of them were as ready to do it as Gulfport High School was. All right. Rolling along. I'm having fun. I'm telling you, I'm coming to the text. Grumpy, Paramount, Matt, Mike, Kenny, Jason, Will, Blitz. And on the live stream, Matthew, Sven, Steve, Hale State, Caleb, all y'all coming to you. Stick around.
After these messages, we'll be right back. Yeah. After these messages, we'll be right back.
Well, look at what we have here. Christmas come early. Boom. Little green onion country pleasing. That's not all. Little original smoked sausage flavor. That's not all. Jalapeno and cheddar. It has to be one of my favorite, just judging by how much of that stuff I eat. Oh, can't forget. Andouille. Don't be saying andouille, it's andouille. And last, but not least, pork and pineapple, bun size, 3 links, bun size. Look at that right there. Be careful. Come on with it. It's mine. Come here, jalapeno. Oh, that's all mine. Country pleasing sausage.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Welcome to my photography studio downtown Tupelo. Everybody needs a headshot, especially if you're in the professional world, in sales, any sort of customer related business outreach business, anything like that, everybody needs a headshot. Here at my photography studio in Tupelo, we do a lot more than just headshots, but we're kind of focusing on headshots for that very reason, because everybody needs it. Let me show you a little something about it. One thing I'm able to do here is sort of have 2 to 3 different looks in a small space that we can do in a short amount of time. Several different looks and styles of lighting with studio equipment, studio lighting. Some with flash, and a particular look that I've worked on, a constant lighting scenario where you sit down, the lights are already on, you lean in, and we kind of illuminate the whole face. And we get several options in the studio in a short amount of time. Here's 2 priorities for me when I shoot headshots. One is it has to look like you. Okay, none of this fake stuff. The other goal is it's got to look like you at your best. And that's my job as a photographer. And I've got a lot of experience over the years, and I feel really confident I can do that for you. I would love to schedule a session for you here at the studio in downtown Tupelo. I'm above the Reed's Gift Shop, just off of Troy Street, the corner of Troy and Spring. If you can't get to Tupelo, that's okay. Let's talk about it, because we can pack the studio up and come to you if the schedules fit and that sort of thing. I'd love to help you with your headshots. I think everybody needs them. I'm inviting you to please email me, reach out. You can go to my website, mattwyattmedia.com, email address matt@mattwyattmedia.com, and let's talk about your headshot.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi, local agents in all 82 counties. So here's what that means. You have that fender bender, hopefully you don't, but let's say you do at an odd time. Something goes on. It's Saturday night at 11 p.m. You don't have to wait until Monday morning to call some 800 number and talk to someone 3 states away. You've got your agent's phone number right there on your phone because you go to church with him. Your kids go to school together. He lives right down.
Zone1059.com.
All right, back with you. I'm Matt. In the Bureau, the Mississippi Farm Bureau Insurance Studio, Farm Bureau, go with the home team. Carrie on Facebook said, like the move to bring back Arnett as DC. Any idea who initiated the move, him or Stay? I don't know. We had that question earlier, but I just don't know. I don't know who initiated that. It'd probably even be hard for them to say. A lot of those talks go on for so long. A lot longer than we ever really realize. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. What else we got? Let's see. Sven says, Matt Wyatt, do us all a favor and look up Notre Dame's schedule 2026. That schedule is an absolute joke. Juggernauts like Purdue and Boston College, Navy, and USC. Well, yeah. And what's the whole ACC thing, Sven? I don't really understand what they're throwing a fit about. This whole thing where they said there's permanent damage done to Notre Dame by the ACC, their conference that they kind of sort of, they're not marrying them, they're just dating them. I don't know. And Eli Dog says, why do schools turn down all expenses paid bowl games? I feel for the players getting denied this cool experience and reward at the end of the year. Some of my favorite memories at MSU. Thanks. Yeah, I guess every school, every team different. Some, pretty obvious. You look at Auburn. They're going through total and complete overhaul coaches change. They knew they were going to. And, the players are already making plans and checking out and travel plans and all that kind of stuff, So some are different. Others, it's, we're embarrassed that we don't get to be in the playoffs, so we're not playing anybody. Wah, wah, wah. Grow up. Grow up would be my message. Somebody asks you to come play, you go play. Nick texts the show. We got more of this. We're going to hear a month of this. He says, just a reminder that Blue Plate is the superior mayonnaise. Get ready. We're going to hear a month of it. Blitz said, I know you'll address the Wendy's drive-thru situation, right? Well, like I said, Blitz, I mean, I know that story. Was it ever officially confirmed? I don't know. But I do know this. For anybody, that even if they did go through something like that, your hope is that you get away from what the influence is. You get away from whatever's driving you to that kind of thing. You get your head screwed on straight, and that somebody somewhere then gives them a chance to rebuild their life if it did happen. And so, yeah, I'm all for it. All right, over to the phone, the Junction phone line. Junction delis all across the state of Mississippi. We're going fast mode, but we got plenty of time for a phone call today from Joey on line 1 of the Junction phone. What's up, Joey?
Hey, Matt, we found another way to waste mayonnaise outside of making potato salad. I love the Arnett hire. I think it's brilliant. I said they should have done it when he departed. And, Matt, I like Dan Mullen, but there's a long list of people who hadn't got along with him engaged in employment. So singling Arnett out is absolutely preposterous, ludicrous, and asinine. The fact we even mention it is abhorrent. If a person don't get along with everybody that works for them, they're probably the problem. So it's just not. It's just scratch even mentioning that falling out. I'm appalled, and in the Alabama making the playoff, I'm okay with it, except for this. There's a major contradiction. Had they won the game, they would expect to advance 3 spots. Can't have it both ways.
Okay, gotcha.
And they're never going to stop playing these conference games because they make too much money.
Oh, it ain't no doubt. No doubt about it.
And Notre Dame should serve a 5-year postseason ban regardless. Number 1 team in the country, they just have to give the spot to somebody else. This is it's tantamount to a little kid. I'm taking my ball and going home.
It really is.
I started the jokes, and now they're not funny because Notre Dame started this conversation. They opened this can of worms, and now they don't like what we're playing with. I mean, what? Again, people are losing their mind, and this whole thing is silly. And maybe we'll find a better way to do it. But for now, and I'm okay with one of the small schools getting in. But you're right, Matt. It's football. In baseball, if you beat me 9-1 in the regular season, I'm liable to beat you 9-1 in the postseason. It can flip just that easy if my pitcher gets hot. Right. In football, if I beat you by 35 and we play again, it might only be 31, but there's a pretty strong chance it's going to be a similar outcome.
I agree with that 100%.
I have to agree with you. They played 10 times. The total point spread would be somewhere around 296.
Yeah.
It just may not be 350, but it'd be close.
Yeah, I agree. That's right. Good stuff, Joey. Hey, it's good to hear from you.
All right, man. Good to hear from you.
Yep. Call me anytime. Joey's right. Joey's right. I hadn't always agreed to everything Joey ever said, and I agree with that. He's right. Notre Dame started the year 0-2, and then they won all the rest of them. And Sven said, well, look at who they beat. Purdue, Arkansas, Boise State, NC State, USC, Boston College, Navy, Pitt, Syracuse, and Stanford. But they did put up 70 on Syracuse and 49 on Stanford and 49 on Navy and 56 on Arkansas and 56 on Purdue. Let me say it again. If you don't hear anything else, hear this. Mike Leach was right as much as 10 years ago about the absurdity of the way the college game does its postseason. Joey, we just had 3 days. I know it's one state. Okay, look, if every high school activities association in America can figure out for their entire state the classifications based on what? Size of school, whatever. Okay, so that all works. And how they're playing. We just had 7 state championship games this past week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Some blowout. Well, one blowout. Warren Central blew out Hattiesburg in the second half. Hat tip Nash Morgan. But let me just tell you, like a bunch of competitive games, if you're telling me it's impossible to figure out a full-fledged play it all out on the field, everybody gets a chance to play it all out on the field throughout the year, that everybody can be satisfied with the playoff structure for 120-something teams, and that's it. Whereas every high school activities association in America in every state can do it for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of teams and schools, then you are not thinking. You are not looking at it. You have some kind of bias. He was exactly right when he said it as much as 10 years ago. I don't know. Let's go to one of these high school associations and ask them how they do it. And let's just do the same thing. It really is that simple. Listen, Joey, what you said. In the era of a 12-team playoff, does it make practical sense for the Southeastern Conference to be playing a conference championship game? No. Does it make financial sense and financial sense only? Yes. Therefore, they're not going anywhere. It is their deciding factor on everything. And that's why it is a big pile of you-know-what, the way this postseason thing works. The idea that you've somehow expanded your playoffs, but it ain't big enough for Vanderbilt and Notre Dame to compete along with it. You're like, oh, well, they competed all year long. Yeah, they did. And you've told me Tulane? Right? Let's compare that. Look, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I know I got a lot of texts. I promise you in hour 2 we're going to get to it. I promise you we're going to get to it. But let's just take a look at that, shall we? Oh, well, Vandy had a chance to compete for a playoff spot all year long. Yeah. They sure did. And you've told me Tulane. Well, because, automatically win the conference championship. We're spreading it around. Really? So that's what we're doing. We're spreading it around. When Tulane is sitting there with losses to UTSA, 48-26, and to Ole Miss by 35 points. Who'd they beat? Northwestern, South Alabama, Duke, Tulsa, East Carolina, Army, Memphis, FAU, Temple, Charlotte, and North Texas. Meanwhile, Vandy with 2 losses to Alabama and Texas, both of them on the road. Beat LSU, beat Missouri, held Missouri to 10 points. Went to Tennessee and won at the end of the year. 2-loss team. Oh, Vandy had a chance to compete for a playoff spot all year. No, they didn't. Not if Tulane is in. Not if Tulane is in, truthfully, Vandy really didn't have a chance to compete for a playoff spot, did they? Yeah, I'm telling you, man. You can't even call it leadership at this point. The whole FBS thing, from playoff structure to pay for play to the calendar, it is a joke. Hour 2 coming up.
This Christmas, C Spire will help bring the ultimate holiday bundle down the chimney.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Yeah.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Well, look at what we have here. Christmas come early. Boom. Little green onion country pleasing. That's not all. Little original smoked sausage flavor. That's not all. Jalapeno and cheddar. It has to be one of my favorite, just judging by how much of that stuff I eat. Oh, can't forget. Andouille. Don't be saying andouille, it's andouille. And last, but not least, pork and pineapple. Bun size, 3 links bun size. Look at that right there. Be careful. Come on with it. It's mine. Come here, jalapeno. Oh, that's all mine. Country pleasing sausage.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Welcome to my photography studio downtown Tupelo. Everybody needs a headshot, especially if you're in the professional world, in sales, any sort of customer related business, outreach business, anything like that. Everybody needs a headshot. Here at my photography studio in Tupelo, we do a lot more than just headshots, but we're kind of focusing on headshots for that very reason, because everybody needs it. Let me show you a little something about it. One thing I'm able to do here is sort of have 2 to 3 different looks in a small space that we can do in a short amount of time. Several different looks and styles of lighting with studio equipment, studio lighting. Some with flash, and a particular look that I've worked on, a constant lighting scenario where you sit down, the lights are already on, you lean in, and we kind of illuminate the whole face. And we get several options in the studio in a short amount of time. Here's 2 priorities for me when I shoot headshots. One is it has to look like you. Okay, none of this fake stuff. The other goal is it's got to look like you at your best. And that's my job as a photographer. And I've got a lot of experience over the years, and I feel really confident I can do that for you. I would love to schedule a session for you here at the studio in downtown Tupelo. I'm above the Reed's Gift Shop, just off of Troy Street, the corner of Troy and Spring. If you can't get to Tupelo, that's okay. Let's talk about it, because we can pack the studio up and come to you if the schedules fit and that sort of thing. I'd love to help you with your headshots. I think everybody needs them. I'm inviting you to please email me, reach out. You can go to my website, mattwhyattmedia.com, email address matt@mattwhyattmedia.com, and let's talk about your headshot.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi, local agents in all 82 counties. So here's what that means. You have that fender bender, hopefully you don't, but let's say you do at an odd time. Something goes on. It's Saturday night at 11 p.m. You don't have to wait until Monday morning to call some 800 number and talk to someone 3 states away. You've got your agent's phone number right there on your phone because you go to church with him. Your kids go to school together. He lives right down the road. You see each other at the ball games on Friday nights. So it's personal with your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in all 82 counties in this entire state. And if anything does arise and you need to, run it up the chain or up the flagpole, the home offices for Farm Bureau Insurance are in Jackson, Mississippi. It's right here in the state of Mississippi. It doesn't get more local than and personal, the service that you get with Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi. I can't recommend them highly enough. And if you haven't, recently, let them give you a quote. Home, life, auto. It's Farm Bureau Insurance. Go with the home team.
That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore, and every Viking...
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Hey y'all, Matt Wyatt here. Each week on the Mississippi Outdoors Podcast, we talk with the people who live it. Hunters, biologists, game wardens, local celebrities, and storytellers that know Mississippi better than anyone.
Those bass come up there and attack them. You know how mean bass can be there.
You're never going to believe this. Matt Wyatt just talked about your deer on the radio. I said, what did he say? He said, it was Photoshopped. And I said, what?
They don't know anything about hunting. They just have never had that right, that freedom.
Dude, that's us, man. That's what we do. So tune in, be inspired, and we'll see you outdoors.
And worldwide. Now, here we go. At thezone1059.com.
All right, back with you. I'm Matt in the Bureau. Staying connected to you because of C Spire. The #1 network in Mississippi is C Spire, customer inspired. Check them out, cspire.com. We'll get to a lot of comments here on the live stream, text messages too, as we kind of carry over from hour 1 to hour 2. So let's just get started right now. Mike on YouTube said, Matt, it's not about the bowl game. It's about all the extra practices that can only help the team. Yeah, it is true. You know, I will say also, my opinion, the extra practices do help. I don't know how many total extra practices you're going to get. You know, let's say from now to a bowl game at the end of the year. Like, what's that total number? You know, it could be, what, 10, 15? You know, so, I mean, that adds up. But it's not like we're talking about 2 months worth of practices. You know, it's a pretty small number comparatively of the practices. I think the game and the game experience for younger players is an even bigger deal, Mike, because you can play, anybody who's redshirting can play in that game and it doesn't count against their red shirt. Okay, so you can do all kinds of things that you wouldn't do like in a normal game, right? So to me, the game itself, just playing the game, when you consider freshman quarterback, another game under his belt, some younger players, who knows? Let's just say, I'm just throwing examples out there. Let's say, you know, it's a young running back like Xavier Gayton. Maybe he gets 15 more carries in this game than he normally would. You know, because, yeah, you're going to try to win the game. There's all kinds of things you can do to benefit everybody. So I agree with you. It is more than just, you know, putting a notch in somewhere. Hey, went to a bowl. I get that. You get extra stuff. That's why you don't turn it down. Jason in Flagstaff texted the show, and he said, I don't know what to think about Arnett, but Hutzler trying to make up for a lack of talent by being bland and predictable was the worst. Not a fire coaches guy, but glad he's gone. P.S. It should be called the Duke's Mayo Extra Practice Week, not a bowl game. Right. James from Amory texted the show, said, when's the last time we were able to use bad offensive line and Alabama in the same sentence? Because, gosh, they looked awful. Ty Simpson was either running for his life or on his back, and the run game is non-existent, which for Alabama is also something we haven't been able to say in a long time. Georgia 10-horned them, and it wasn't even close. Yeah, I know what. Negative rushing yards in a game for Alabama. It's only happened 2 times in the entire existence of that program. And the last one was like during World War II or something like that. That's crazy. Kenny, don't call me Ken, text the show. Said if players start opting out of bowl game, I have some eligibility left and can step in. And he sent me a picture to prove it. Now, I don't know what team that is, Kenny, but I will say, whoever it was that you were playing for and posing for a picture right there, one, the uniforms are very, very Alabama Crimson Tide-esque. We're talking crimson and white with a crimson helmet, numbers on the side, and a stripe down the middle. Okay. Also, props, sir, on the neck roll. I heard Matt Caldwell calling that game Saturday night for Gulfport versus Tupelo, and he was pointing out that, you know, one of the linebackers for Gulfport was wearing that old school neck roll. It's so cool. It was so neat to see that. It was like a throwback. the neck roll. And then the other observation, Kenny, is that the number 66 is a terribly underrated jersey number for an offensive lineman. That's a good one. Magic Mike texted the show and he said, Matt, will Zach be on the sideline for the Mayo Bowl? Well, I would hope so. I would think so. Yeah, go ahead and get started. You know,